Bounds. This is Math 126, Pre-Calculus 1, Section 4053. This is an online class, and it's a Jumpstart class. My email address is jeffrey.downs@wnc.edu. My office is located at the Carson campus in the Bristlecone building, number 167. I am serving as an interim vice president of Student Success and Support Services, so if you need to come to campus and find me, that's where you can find me. My office phone number is 775-445-4231. I'll have office hours as a VP on Wednesdays from 2 to 3, and for our Math 126 live meetings on Wednesdays from 12 to 1 p.m. Now, if we need to change that time, because that's just not good for a majority of the class, we can find another time to do that live meeting. Prerequisites for the class: Math 96, or 3 units of high school mathematics at the level of algebra and above, which I'm sure you all have, because you qualify for the class. Course descriptions provides a third course in algebra. Topics include polynomial, rational, and radical equations, absolute value and quadratic inequalities, relations and functions, linear, quadratic, polynomial, exponential, and logarithmic functions and their graphs and applications, and systems of equations. Upon completion of this course, successful students should be able to do the following: solve polynomial, radical, and rational equations, solve absolute value and quadratic inequalities, identify functions and find inverse functions, graph, find slopes and equations of linear functions, use them in models, sketch the graphs of basic functions and transformations of them, graph polynomial, exponential, and logarithmic functions and use them in models, solve systems of equations and inequalities, but not necessarily linear. It's a 3-credit course. Transferability within Nevada. This course is designed to apply toward a WNC degree and or transfer to other schools within the Nevada system of higher education, depending on the degree chosen and other courses completed. It may transfer to colleges and universities outside Nevada. For information about how this course can transfer and apply to your program of study, please contact a counselor. I believe your counselor for this program is Tricia Wentz. Linkage to college admission: apply mathematical, analytical problem-solving skills through the use of polynomial, exponential, and logarithmic functions and application systems of equations, and the application of matrices. Provide instruction that contributes to a student's ability to think critically and solve problems, to reason mathematically, and apply computational skills. Textbook we're going to use for the class is Pre-Calculus 2nd edition by Paul Sison. This has been out for a while. There should be plenty of used copies out there. You can get the textbook bundled with the Hawks Learning software and the ebook. You can get the textbook just with the software, get the textbook alone, or the ebook alone. It really doesn't matter to me. I'd like you to have a textbook so you can find the homework and look over lessons. I do have lessons I teach, but it gives you a chance to actually review what I've covered in the textbook, so you get another perspective on that. But you need a textbook, either paper or online, and I recommend a calculator. I like to use the TI-89 graphing calculator and the TI-83 graphing calculator. Desmos does a lot of good though, so I will be honest, Desmos is good. However, on a test, I'd like you to have a regular calculator because I don't like cell phones to be used. Grading is A, B, C, D, F, pretty standard scale there. I'm trying something a little different this semester, given some of the different constraints of COVID and trying to not put too much weight on just 2 exams, which I used to do a midterm and a final. I'm going to go with 4 exams, so basically a Chapter 2, a Chapter 3, Chapter 4, and Chapter 5 exam. Each will be 100 points. Discussions, 10 postings at 10 points each for 100 points. And homework, 5 chapters of 40 points each for 200 points, and quizzes, 10 at 10 points each for 800 points. So here are the due dates for the exams. Exams may be proctored by your school, and you can coordinate with your school on when to take them. Exams are due by the following dates. There are 4 exams. If you're going to do any online work for the class, like in Canvas, if you want to do your homework there, the code for the class is Math 126 Online Fall 2020. Discussions: you must provide at least 10 postings in the discussion board. The postings must be substantive and not simply say "I agree." You can either ask a question from our material or you can answer a question. Postings must have a minimum of 50 words. And I'm not going to be too strict on that, but I'd like to see more than just a couple of words written. So I've seen places where they require 500 words minimum in a posting and 250 in responses. So I think 50 is doable. Your first posting should be an introduction about yourself. And yes, you can do postings about jokes. I like them not all to be about jokes, though. But you can share interesting information you found somewhere. Homework, you have two choices for homework. You can either do the Hawks Learning System section certifications. That's where you go through. You can do the Hawks online. There's a practice and there's a certified part. So you can certify means you got the homework done. Or you can do the homework assigned with each lesson in class. Homework counts for a total of 200 points. If you try the Hawks and would prefer to go to the traditional homework, you may do so. If you do the traditional paper homework, you must mail, fax, email, or mail. So that twice now, homework to me postmarked by the due date. I strongly encourage students to mail a copy of their homework in case it's lost in the mail, so don't mail the original. It really works best just to scan and upload your homework, even take a picture with your phone. Use something like Tiny Scanner on your phone as an app that can let you upload PDF files. Quizzes, there'll be 11 quizzes. Top 11 quizzes will count for the grade. The quizzes can be found in the modules in Canvas, unless you're a fast track student, which you all are. And you're high school. So I don't think anyone here has an issue with taking those quizzes. If I find out from your school that they want a proctored quiz, it'll be a proctored quiz. But I'm pretty sure most people in this section don't have that situation. But anyway, if you do, then you'll have to do a quiz with your school. There'll be weekly live meetings currently scheduled for Wednesdays from 12 to 1 p.m. in Zoom. Again, if we need to change that, I can change that. We have some flexibility. These sessions are insufficient in time for lessons to be taught. I have lessons recorded for every lesson. But if you have questions from the homework, that's the time for that. So, live meetings are intended to be a time that students can ask questions and present problems they may have encountered. You can access the live meetings in the Conferences tab. Actually, I probably should change that. I'm not sure because we're using Zoom now, so that's going to change a little bit. Live meetings are optional but recommended and will be recorded for those who cannot attend. If no students arrive within 15 minutes at the beginning of the session, I'll end the session. Attendance, students are expected to participate and keep pace on a regular basis. Students failing to keep pace or answer emails from the instructor for 2 or more weeks may be dropped from the course. Doesn't mean you will be, but you could be. So don't think you can just quit doing stuff and then you get dropped. Any departure from the attendance policy must be pre-approved by September 11th, 2020. Ethics statement, no cheating of any kind to be tolerated. Any student caught cheating, attempting to cheat, or assisting in the cheating of another student will be expelled from the class of the failing grade. And I did have a problem with that a few years back, which was really disappointing. So let's not do that. Early alert, please note that in an effort to help students successfully complete their courses, the counseling office on campus will ask faculty for names of students they feel may be in need of additional assistance. The counselor may contact you to offer some ideas. And so early alerts, one of the programs we use. Another one that we might be using is Starfish. So just be aware that that is a tool that we could use. Grade appeals can be made to Scott Morrison at scott.morrison@wnc.edu. He's the Director of Liberal Arts. Disability statement, Western Nevada College is committed to providing reasonable accommodations for all persons with disabilities. This syllabus is available in alternate formats upon request. It's also our goal to be as accessible as possible. If you anticipate any issues related to format, materials, or requirements of this course, please meet with me, or call me, or whatever. We can do a Zoom meeting so that we may address accessibility concerns with the DSS office. Any student with a disability needing academic adjustments is required to register with the Disability Support Services office. So if you have a disability, I'm more than happy to work with it, but to avoid people just saying they had something and getting extra time or getting some other kind of benefit, it has to be documented. To receive academic accommodations for this class, please submit an application for services, which can be found here. You'll then be contacted by a DSS staff member to schedule an appointment. If you have questions about DSS services, you can contact Susan Trist. She's the Director of Students Disability Support Services at student.trist@wnc.edu, and here's her phone number. These are important dates, and I hope I got the dates correct, so please double check these dates. I did the best I could on trying to determine if they're right, but like the big ones, I don't know it really applies because I don't know the payment structure here, but I think some of these are just, I would just double check on some of those dates if you plan on trying to withdraw or whatever. Here is the schedule I like to keep for the class. It weights out pretty heavy in the first part, but this is review. This chapter 1 is very much review. I do find a lot of students can be uncomfortable with some of the topics, especially when we get to radical equations. I think one of them was completing the square. I had some student just really angry with me. I'm like, that is definitely an Algebra 2 topic, a Math 96 at our school topic. But it's something you can get, and we will use it later on. It's an important concept to know later on. Then Chapter 2 is still some review. Then Chapter 3, we get into a lot of the new stuff, as well as 4 and 5. And I'm going to be honest, I think Chapter 5, Section 5, is the best chapter in the book. It is logarithms and logarithmic equations. A lot of fun. I look forward to that section every time I get to go over it. Doesn't mean that if I'm with you for 127, we use the same book. Doesn't mean that stuff's not good. But that's my favorite, is 5.5. Okay, I probably should get rid of this. That's old. Practice final is not applicable anymore because I'm doing these 4 exams. And practice midterm, yeah, I should take that out of there too. I'll fix that. Okay, so there we go. That's what we have for the class, and I hope everything goes well. Let me know if you have any questions. If you see something out of place, like I just found, don't panic about that. We can work it out. I'm adapting material to the new situations in which we're working, and I'm sure you're all resilient. You've adapted over the past several months to a lot of changes, and you're still adapting. So just understand that if something looks out of place, we can figure that out. So don't panic. We're going to get through this. It's going to be a fun class. We're going to learn a lot, and you're going to get college credit. So that's what's great. Okay, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.